Just like my last video was a plea for my safety where I said, please don't hurt me, don't be mean. This is a plea for Katrina's safety. Please don't say anything to her. I made this video because I got hit from behind twice and I said, guys, don't be mean. Why are you attacking me? I gave you an explanation from my point of view how things are going. Like I said, both Katrina and I are going to defend our truth. I gave you my version of what happened, but I never told you to go and insult her. I mean, please, all these videos are for my safety, not for you to attack her. She will never tell you not to attack me. My intention is not to direct any kind of aggression at her. My intention is for you to know the truth because gossip channels exploit it with ridiculous accusations. Now, those same threats are already going towards Katrina, who, despite everything she's doing, is still the mother of my children, and I have to do everything possible to keep her safe. By exposing her, I give miracles. The one in the story doesn't mean I want her to be unsafe, like the saying goes, we are enemies. I still want you to eat, just not at my table. I still want you to be safe, just not with me, but safe, and all these threats don't come from my videos or from her video. They come from a specific source, the gossip channels. She knew all this from the beginning. She planned it. She knew these people would see profit in other people's suffering. She knew very well that gossipers would see this tragic separation and think, haha, there's money here. Other people suffering to criticize and destroy, yes, this is where I profit. She also knew attacks against me would happen.
They are pathetically predictable, and Katrina used them and tossed them aside.
What she didn't expect, didn't know, didn't plan for is that by me giving them my side of the story and showing them court documents, I would also send a bit of hate her way. And now that she sees it, now she's telling the Canadian court. It's very, very unsafe when it happens to her. Yes, it's unsafe, but when it happens to me, I'm not exaggerating. So now there are threats against her too, and my lawyer abandons me. At the last minute, just days before court, she leaves me. I just signed a paper that she told me to, give her everything she wants, agree with her. And then, years later, lawyers, I foolishly go and sign the paper, which basically sides with her 100%. She sends it to the court, and the next day she quits my case and leaves me alone. She knows it's just days before court and I can't find another one. This is the busiest season for lawyers. They're fighting over custody to decide who gets the kids at Christmas. She just made me sign a paper that buried me even more, and then she abandoned me, which is very, very strange. I don't have any data, but I was looking in lawyer and law student forums, and it does seem that way. It's very, very strange for a lawyer to abandon you days before your court date, knowing that you won't be able to find another representative. From the beginning, Katrina has arranged with the court to give me very, very little time to prepare. I asked for an extension once, the first time she sued me, because I didn't have a lawyer. I didn't think I was going to need one. And from there, she started accusing me of intentionally dragging out the process. That I deliberately am making it take as long as possible. Therefore, I can't ask for an extension to postpone my court date until I find a lawyer. I can't, because they would keep accusing me of dragging it out, and that makes me look really bad in court. Which only leaves me with two options. I get one of the lawyers that the court provides you because you have the right to legal representation, but these lawyers are only for those who can't afford one. That is, people who earn below a certain line and can't afford one, the court gives you one. Which I don't want to do. I can't, because on paper, legally, my income is above that line and Katrina is going to sue me for fraud. She's going to say, hey, he earns enough, he can pay for a lawyer. Here he's stealing from the state and she's going to sue me for fraud. So I don't want to take that option. The only one I have left is to represent myself, to be my own lawyer. Which is a terrible idea because I'm just going to make things worse for myself. I don't know anything about the law. The courts see people who represent themselves as arrogant, egocentric. Since I know absolutely nothing about the law, I don't know what to say, I don't know what's wise to say or not. I'm just digging myself into a deeper hole. Very strange. This doesn't happen in Canada, so why would he, my lawyer, abandon me? There's something there. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's go over the details again against my will. I didn't want to put myself in this situation. This is an endless source of shame. Shame and humiliation and exposure and mockery from the gossip channels. This is the hardest moment of our lives for the whole family, and the vultures from the gossip channels want to profit from it. These people make a living exploiting other people's pain to ask for donations on their channels, and I'm going to give them a permanent source of mockery and income, and I'm also going to give my children a constant source for the rest of their adult lives, a source of shame and humiliation towards them. But I have no other choice. So good news for the gossip channel's bank accounts. Maybe they haven't eaten, haven't had breakfast, haven't made enough for their rent. Well, here you go. Let's start with the first part. My lawyer leaves me just days before. My court date is November 28th after making me sign a document that I knew about. It basically says that yes, I have the financial means to give her everything she's asking for the rest of her life, and I told her, look, I can't do this. I can't. She said after I read the document that I had no other choice. Just sign it because the court could order you to give her even more. It's better to give her what she wants, even if you don't have it. Borrow it, get it from somewhere, but give her what she's asking for because the court might see you as someone who's not cooperating and things could go worse for you. It's better to agree with her on everything, and then as the years go by, you can appeal or question things. I said, well, if that's the advice, her legal advice, I guess I won't have any other choice. I'll get another mortgage and see how I manage, and over the years, I'll try to lower those payments. And that's what she told me. That was her legal advice. And she said, look, here in this email, see how urgent it is for me. She said, look at the deadline to submit documents to the court. It's going to be tomorrow at noon. Hurry up and sign it, and there I go, foolishly looking for a place to print it. I see the amounts and I say, this is ridiculous, it's impossible. But even so, I sign it and send it to her. She sends it to the court, and the next day, which is the deadline to tell the court who your representative is. 10 minutes later, I get this email. Let's look at the email she sent me. Here it says, I resign as your legal representative because you're asking me for something that goes against my code of ethics. What did I ask her? What goes against her code of ethics? I asked her what I should do with my immigration company and what would be best for me. And this lawyer would always tell me, she's right and you have everything to lose. It's better to give her what she wants. She would just discourage me, not encourage me to fight my case or see what we can do. That's what the law says, and the law can force you to pay an amount you don't have. The law can make you pay 3 or 4 times what you earn. And if she wins in court, and right now she has everything in her favor, it's better for you to give it to her. I asked him if they could take my passport since I make a living traveling. He said yes.
Le digo, ¿es posible que me hagan que le pague?
That they make me pay her 200, 300% more than my income. It's possible. And not only is it possible, it's very, very likely. So the last time he told me, because Katrina is saying that I make a fortune from CCB Canada, which isn't true. I'm one of the owners, and of course there's value in the company, but I don't receive a cash income. And here Katrina is accusing the company CB Canada of fraud. In short, she accuses the company of money laundering and of making $1 million cash payouts. This is impossible. 99.9% of the company's income is through credit card, and we've been audited for every dollar that comes in. This is impossible. Even so, she keeps insisting that I receive millions in cash, and she's asking the court to demand it from me. You can see her asking for absurd amounts. So I asked her how I could do it, so that I don't have to pay her for my right to do what I like. And she tells me, look, right now here, Katrina put it in her legal claim. Look at the document that you just opened a branch in Mexico, which is evidence that you're being paid millions. How can a company be expanding and not pay you? And I tell her it's just that I only came to give free consultations for this whole month that I've been in Mexico. I was in this office since it opened, giving free consultations on how to come through the student pathway. I explain how the universities work and the process, and what requirements there are for a person to enroll in a school in Canada, and the spouse gets an open work permit, without proving English proficiency, without having a job offer. And that's what I've been doing. I don't get paid for the consultations, they're free. Ask the thousands of people who have come to our office. They ask me, how much do I owe you for the consultation? Nothing. This is what I want to do. This is my dream, this to have the opportunity to bring more people to Canada. But she insists that I'm getting paid a fortune. I am a co-owner of this company, but my work is voluntary. And Katrina is asking me for a tax for being a volunteer. She's saying she doesn't want me to be a volunteer. She wants me to charge so I can give her more. I don't want you to waste your time on activities that don't bring in money. helping immigrants who don't give you any income because now you don't give me more. I need you to give me more and more and more, and you can't be wasting your time giving free consultations. So I asked my lawyer how I can avoid this. I mean, how can I claim my right to autonomy over my time? That I decide what I'm going to do with my time. If I want to sleep, if I want to go to the gym, if I want to do something else besides just making money to give to her. And she tells me, no, I can't tell you that. It goes against my code of ethics. I can only interpret the law and tell the court what you're doing. Then I asked her, well, what should I do? Should I sell my shares in Sede Canada? Because even if I'm not the legal owner, I can still be the face of the company without receiving any income. Or what should I do? Should I sell my shares? Do I remove my name? And I voluntarily tell them, you know what? I can't keep being part of this company because it's costing me. I have to give it to my ex. What should I do? And she tells me, no, that's a very unethical question. Everything I tell the government has to be organic and natural. And if I tell you what to do with your immigration company, it's no longer organic or natural, and it's against my code of ethics. And I said, well, then why did I hire you? I mean, that's supposed to be your job as a lawyer. To tell me what actions I can take to protect myself from someone who not only wants all my finances, but also wants to force me to be working for her 24 hours a day. And the next day I get this email. She also tells me she's not satisfied that I showed documents in court. Look here. Why am I showing you the court documents? Because in my career as a content creator, these are the most important videos. They have to include evidence. All the videos I've made from the beginning have included evidence. Look, in my first video, I showed legal documents that weren't allowed by YouTube. Here I'm showing you a Mexican passport because I'm explaining how the visa and the ETA work. And since then, throughout my career as a content creator, I've made videos about sensitive and important topics with evidence. In this video about the Mormon Church, I show you documents about how the prophet was married to a 14-year-old girl, the 40-year-old Mormon prophet, how he married 20 women. I have to show documents. I mean, you, my audience, are not going to accept such an important video without evidence. Also, as I told you, it's not illegal to do it. And I still have my right to freedom of the press. The Canadian court is not going to restrict my right to freedom of the press, which the Canadian Constitution gives me. When I told him that, I think he took it personally.
But why would it bother a lawyer if I show the legal documents on my YouTube channel if she's doing a good job? Isn't it supposed to be the opposite? If you're doing a good job, you should be proud. You should want to show off, not hide them.
I resign as your legal representative for showing court documents on your YouTube channel and for asking me to do something against my code of ethics. And he abandons me, knowing that I can't get another representative. But that's not against his code of ethics. That's what I was telling you. Canadians see their government as their supreme authority. In other words, their government is their highest authority. They will never do anything against their government. No, Canadians will not use their judgment or humanity to benefit anyone if it goes against their government, even if there are no legal consequences. Which is good because it keeps the country at a very low level of corruption. But on a person-to-person level, they don't do anything that benefits another human being. They only do what the government tells them. Let me give you an example. The workers at the Canadian Embassy here in Mexico, they have a policy, which is that the food they are given at the embassy can't be given to anyone else. So I met a guy who works in the garbage service at the embassy. And he told me that he took out a box full of food, intact, fresh, good. And he says to them, hey, can I take this for for the kids here? No. Right? Because the policy says you can't give out food. I mean, a child's hunger, saving them, giving them food, feeding a human being. It's worth less than the total authority they see in their... That is, the value of every human being is considered less important than the rules set by their government at every level. In this case, the code of ethics comes from the Bar Association. It doesn't even come directly from the government, but it's already a code of ethics. And therefore, it matters more than the question I asked. How can I keep helping immigrants without paying a protection fee to Katrina? And she couldn't answer that question for me. Guys, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to accuse anyone of something I don't have evidence for. But this is really strange. It's very hard for me to completely rule out the possibility that there was some influence. And I mean, just look at the timing of when it happened. I mean, the schedules, everything fits perfectly. First, she tells me, sign this document where you admit that you earn what she says. Then she sends me this link where she says, I need to see on a video call how you sign it. They receive them. They're submitted to the court. Like saying he already admitted, he already accepted, he already gave in. Then they send me another notification, which is my last day to change my representative. That's it. It confirms that this is your lawyer. Yes, okay. I make the payment for the fees because here the fees are paid in advance. I paid $5,000 in advance. And then the next morning she resigned as my representative. There's something here. Well, I'm left with two options. Like I was saying, accept a lawyer provided by the court for free, which Katrina, she will immediately write a letter to the government to say, this person is abusing a service meant for the poor. I'm defrauding the Canadian system, so I can't. And the other option is to represent myself, to be my own lawyer. I know absolutely nothing about the law. When they send me court documents, there are phrases I don't even understand. Sometimes I don't understand the whole paragraph, and it's not a language barrier. It's not, oh, it's because English is your second language. No, that's not it. In fact, I have a bigger vocabulary in English than in Spanish. It's very complicated. There are a lot of technical terms, a lot of words. So I would have to go to court to face a judge. And Katrina's lawyers who have studied this, who have experience in this, who know how to manipulate information to benefit their client, and how to make the other person look bad. And it's just me against them. And I have 3 days to go to court. It's November 28th. Now, let's move on to the other part, Katrina's safety concerns. This helps me, because it gives me a legal document showing her hypocrisy. In her second filing, she says this works here. They're called affidavits, in which you tell the government your version of the facts, and it's documented with evidence. And the other party can respond, and you go paragraph by paragraph responding. So, I already showed you her first filing, right? In which she says, I want all his properties. I want all his income. I want more than what he earns. I want the whole house. I want everything. And I want full custody. She basically asks for everything. And I go answering her paragraph by paragraph. Well, in her second filing, she says that she's in danger, that her life is in danger because of the videos I made. But in her first one, she denies that her crying video has any effect on my income, on the monetization of my social media, on my image as a content creator, and on my safety. She completely denies it. She says I'm being dramatic, that I'm exaggerating, that I haven't presented any evidence. And in her second statement, that's when she says, I feel unsafe. I don't feel comfortable in the house. I need more money. I need more payments. He is purposely putting me in danger. I mean, these two statements contradict each other. They can't both exist. He has to choose one. If you admit that you feel unsafe, then you're admitting that you made me feel unsafe first. If you admit here that your video had no impact on my social media, on my income, and on my security. So here you're admitting that my video had no impact on yours. You can't say YouTube videos are very destructive for me, but he's immune. Either it affects both of us, or it doesn't affect either of us. So all the evidence I need to appeal her claims is in the same evidence she presented. That's what I'm going to show the judge. I'm going to say, look, here in this part it already says that the videos don't affect. And in this part it says that the videos do affect. Let her choose one, and whichever one she chooses. All right. And which one of the two is true? Well, the last statement is true. Videos make you feel unsafe. They are a security threat, because people on the internet are extremists. And she knew it. And that was the reason why she made the first video. She wanted to make me feel unsafe. But now that it affected her a little bit, she knows she doesn't want it, and now she's suing me for the same thing she did to me, on purpose, from the very beginning. How did she know there would be violence against me with her crying video? Look. From the very beginning of her channel, she would tell me, look at the comments, look at how extreme people are, look at how seriously they take things, they're dramatic. And then when the gossip channel started talking about me, she said, look, these people see a prophet in you, in the videos you're making. And since they can't talk about themselves, they have to talk about someone else. And they have to be destructive. They generate hate toward the person they're talking about. She knew that the hate toward me wasn't going to come just from the comments here. The hate toward her doesn't come from the comments here either, in my comments section. She knew the hate toward me was going to come from here, from the gossip channels, Take a look at this. It's a gossip channel disguised as psychology. They've made about 10 hours of content talking about me. That's what I was telling you. What Katrina knew was going to happen. The gossip channels see my tragedy, and that's where they see money. Look here, this person. I'm showing him specifically because he's the most obvious one, the most obvious example. Here he asks for live donations for making fun of me. He makes fun of us. Here he mocks Katrina's teeth. It's blatant mockery. He makes fun of our tragedy. And then he passes a hat around for donations. If you look at the comments on this one, on these videos, they say I'm a narcissist, a psychopath. Sociopath, the people who attacked me. No, they didn't attack me because they saw this video. They attacked me after seeing videos like this. And the people who make these videos know it. But they don't care because of this, the donations. All its content is about saying that I'm a terrible person. Look, I'm not a psychologist. No, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any higher education, university, nothing. But I have learned something, which is don't make fun of people when they're going through a hard time. My parents taught me that. Don't try to humiliate or make fun of someone who is going through the hardest moment of their life, much less beg for money using someone else's tragedy. That's exactly what he's doing. So if he can profit and ask for donations by making fun of my tragedy, I'm also going to try to profit from the 10 hours of content he's made making fun of me and insulting me and my children. So if anyone out there is at home recovering from a fracture or something and has time to watch live streams, if you help me figure out roughly how much he's made, if you look at the list of comments, you can see the donations there, like 50 pesos, 20 pesos, 100 pesos. Every time it says here, Diego Sol Reina is an idiot, ha ha ha, they clap and that's it. He uploads this, they donate money to him, his kids, poor kids. Look at the idiot father they have. Here's another donation for you. So if someone can add up how much it is so that later we can have a competition. Like, let's see who has profited more. If it's him with my misfortune or me by checking. I'm not a gossip channel. I don't have the talent, no talent. Well, not the skill to make fun of people. But I'm going to try. Let's see. I'm going to sit down and look at his comments, and I'm going to reply to them one by one. It's going to have all the elements that gossip channels have. Toxicity, mockery, insults, humiliation, everything. I mean, just like he gives you content by making fun of people, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make fun of him just like he's doing to me. So wait for it when I have time, later. Right now I don't have time, but I will sit down, watch him, respond to him. When someone criticizes me, I listen with an open mind. I agree with them when they're right. I appreciate what he teaches me, or the points he makes that are valid, and I make him look ridiculous when he's just making a fool of himself. I mean, I can insult too. I can lower myself to that level too. Not as low as him. For example, here where he makes fun of Katrina's teeth. Not as low as him, but more or less at that level. I would be out of my element. But I could try to get something back. It's 10 hours of content. There's a lot of money there. If I sit down to watch it all, I can make good money. So that's how it goes. If he profits from my tragedy, I profit from his mockery. It's that simple. And I'll also let you know how much I made. So if this is profitable, I'm going to start responding to everyone who's made fun of me to make money. Basically, I'll do the same thing they're doing. If I can make enough to cover my internet, my medical expenses, maybe get some food here and there, whatever comes up, whatever they give me, that's great. Because I'm financially devastated. I spent all my savings on lawyers and I haven't even started paying the full compensation my ex wants. So by responding to them and putting that doctor in his place, just wait. Going back to the topic, since I started my content, Katrina warned me. That gossip channels generate violence. She gave them something juicy, like throwing a tortilla to the chickens. Well, that's it for the update, guys. My monthly dose of shame, humiliation, and the monthly dose of material for the gossip channels. There it is, so they can fill in whatever they're missing. I didn't make it very long. Sorry. You won't earn as much as the last one, but to keep it brief. So, November 28, 2024. I'm going to court. I don't have a lawyer. I didn't have time to consult. Not even one. They're all busy. They tell me that none of them can even take my call until January. That right now they're very busy. Because all the families are in disputes over child custody for Christmas. Very common when couples separate and have shared custody. Both parents want to take their children to spend Christmas with their family, and they're fighting over it. There are no lawyers available. And even if a lawyer took me on, if they said, okay, I'll take your case, I wouldn't be able to pay for it. They're so expensive, really expensive. The lawyer would need to review my case, read all file documents, and I'd have to explain everything again so they could get up to speed. Representing me would cost around $15,000. With those $15,000, it's better if I live here in Mexico for the next year, but without seeing my children? All right, that's the report so far. I'll keep you posted on how it went.